Hello, welcome to the micro class. I'm Guo Xiaoming from Guangdong Construction Polytechnic. We will learn about the application of curves in architectural spatial design within the three-dimensional composition. Let's learn together. In three-dimensional composition, lines are material entities that determine the characteristics of length. Based on material, they are classified into hard ones and soft ones. Based on forms, they are classified into straight lines and curves. Next, let's learn the types of curves in three-dimensional composition. The first type is geometric curves, which give us a sense of fluidness, elasticity, rigor, rationality, clarity, and modernity. We can better understand the feeling they evoke through the following images. Now let's look at two images. The left one is a work composed purely of geometric curves. By repeating an element, the work appears very full and elastic, reminiscent of childhood paper folding and flower bowls. It fully embodies the use of curves in composition. Now, let's look at the image on the right, which is an excellent example of the use of geometric curves. Through the gradient geometric curves and their multiple directions, it catches our eyes and creates undulations on surface, giving us a fresh feeling. Although circular compositions are common, this work conveys a different feeling on the surface of the three-dimensional composition. Next, we will learn about the second type of curves in three-dimensional composition, free curves. When it comes to free curves, you may very much like them. So, what feelings do free curves evoke? We summarize it as having a rounded, soft, and very humane feeling. Let's experience this feeling through the three images below. In the next set of images, we will see the use of free curves in architectural spaces and furniture. First, let's look at the image on the left, which depicts a staircase inside a building. First of all, we can see that the free curves appear in a cross formation and also form the shape of stairs. We can see the large free curves and the free curves of stairs form a contrast in density and connect the lower and upper spaces with a feeling of relaxation projecting. So let's imagine the feeling of walking on such a staircase. It should be totally different from the feeling we have when walking on square stairs. Such free curves can bring us a lively, rounded, soft, and humane touch. You can also feel that the curve brings us a very interesting feeling. Let's look at the chair on the right, called the diamond chair. We can see the shape of its backrest resembles a diamond. When we look at this chair carefully, it uses a three-dimensional composition of lines, a shape with curves intersecting one another. Through the intersecting curves, it naturally forms armrests, backrests, and seat surface. The intersecting curves also create a lot of mesh-like patterns, with gradual changes in form. And the stainless steel material completely shows the work composed of free curves with the same light as diamonds. It is furniture that our young people like very much. Under the light and shadow, its projection is also very expressive, showing a form of mesh. Together with a straight leg, it forms a contrast between curves and straight lines. It also looks very holistic and full of contrast, in line with the aesthetic of our young people. From this example, we can learn how to use purely free curves to achieve desired forms, such as furniture, architecture, and landscape. We can use some purely free curves to design them. Next, we will use the methods in the cases To learn about the application of curves in architectural spaces, 4 points need to be grasped. First, curves are the most lively design language in architectural space. Second, the emotional use of curves. Third, the density, thickness, contrast, and rhythm of curves. Fourth, the repetition of curves. Now let's take a look at a case. When it comes to Hacker-to-Low, we should not be unfamiliar with it. Hacker-to-Low is often seen on TV, movies, or magazines, mainly found in southern China. It is particularly famous in Fujian province and Guangdong province. So let's take a look at the Hacker-to-Low, which mainly uses the composition of curves to show the charm of buildings. In this picture, we have a bird's view of Hacker-to-Low, which has a central core that expands outward in layers. Using repeated curve forms, making the to-low in line with the regular pattern of curve diffusion in three-dimensional composition. Let's take a look at this to-low from the ground to the walls and roof. It forms a clear hierarchy of curve variations, combining parts of activity areas, kitchens, ancestral halls, homes, and roofs. This creates a massive work of three-dimensional composition. In the composition of to-low, we can find a sense of affinity curves bring to us, making it a very humane building. So in such a large building, a lot of people live together, creating a harmonious atmosphere. It's also a symbolic representation of architecture constructed with free curves, and has been listed as intangible cultural heritage. In the next set of images, we can see that they are taken from an upward perspective. From this angle, when we look up, we will find that the skyline of the to-low encircles the sky within a range of circles. This is another unimaginable visual experience presented to us by to-low. Through architecture, we can encircle the sky into a circle. There's an old saying called "Heaven is round, earth is square," which clearly reflects the architectural expression from ancient times. Next, let's look at the second case, which is an outstanding work of the design genius Zaha Hadid, the Galaxy Soho, located in the second ring road of Beijing. This work mainly embodies the gradient of free curves. When we observe this work, do you all have the same feeling as I do? It looks like a giant sculpture, very fashionable and modern, yet also resembling some eggshells. The works of this design master are always unexpected. He is particularly good at using free curves to construct his envisioned design and interpret his understanding of architecture. Let's take a look at this work. Galaxy Soho uses a lot of free curves outside, which makes it similar to an egg shape, and its core section consists of parallel curves. When these curves are distributed in parallel, especially at night, when the light comes through these parallel curves, they bring us boundless imagination. His free curves seem to take us to another space. His work completely breaks our previous understanding of architectural design, breaking the concept that architecture is just a living box. Next, everyone, follow my pictures to enter the interior of the Galaxy Soho. When we step inside it, it's like being in an ocean of curves, flowing curves. You can imagine how relaxed and free our mood is in such an interior space. Inside the building, we can feel many parallel curves giving us a strong visual impact. When we are in a completely angular-free architectural space, our hearts may be open. Perhaps this is why Zaha is beloved by architectural enthusiasts worldwide. The Galaxy Soho has become a landmark building locally and is deeply loved by young people. Many TV dramas have been filmed there, so pay attention when watching TV dramas. In the case of Galaxy Soho, you can feel the flow brought by curves, and the expansiveness brought by the gradient curves. After this, you are required to continue studying Zaha Hadid's works to learn the application of curves in architectural design and understand the essence of it. Next, let's talk about the third case, Canton Tower, nicknamed the Tiny Waist. Regarding the image of it, our domestic students are very familiar with it because it is a landmark in Guangzhou. This building mainly embodies the intersection of three curves. Let's take a look at the Canton Tower. As one of the 8 sites of Guangzhou and carrying the mission of inheriting Guangzhou's traditional culture of more than 2,000 years and spreading Guangzhou's upward trajectory as an international metropolis, it has become a new landmark of the city, attracting many tourists. I think most people favor the Tiny Waist at night because it shines brightly like stars. Tiny Waist is named after its resemblance to a girl wearing a dance skirt and dancing gracefully. The external shape and the curves are closely related. On this building, the interweaving composition of 3 curves is shown. We can see the 3 curves on the tower's body spiraling upwards, giving us a sense of tension and a modern and youthful vitality. It symbolized the positive, hardworking, and practical modern spirit of Guangzhou people. It is a multifunctional tower combining sightseeing, recreation at high altitudes, fashion and catering, wedding celebrations, film and television, popularization of environmental protection, cultural education, shopping, and leisure. When we stand at the bottom of the tower and look up, it seems to soar into the sky with its spire. The 3 curves on the tower guide our sight to the top, even touching the skyline. With these 3 curves interweaving, we can see the tiny waist of Guangzhou in the night view. Different parts of the tiny waist use different color lights. So in the evenings of Guangzhou, it is like a girl in a colorful skirt dancing, reflecting the entire Pearl River with magnificence. In the course, you can choose some appropriate materials to imitate the tiny waist and do some composition exercises. This kind of exercise can help you better understand the interweaving composition of 3 curves and help you understand the design of architectural composition through the form of the tiny waist. You may find that many classic architectural designs are not complicated in their shapes, so you can try to achieve a deeper understanding of architectural design with models of these classic buildings. Okay, let's summarize the use of curves in architectural space. When starting cases, you need to understand 4 points from the cases. First, curves are the most lively form of expression in architecture. Second, the emotional use of curves. Third, the density, thickness, contrast, and rhythm of curves. Fourth, the repetition of curves. Next, I will assign you an exercise. The content of this exercise is to analyze the use of curves in Zaha's architectural design of Guangzhou Opera House. You won't be unfamiliar with it. For the Guangzhou Opera House, many students in Guangzhou have already visited it. We need to pay attention to 4 points in the assignment. First, grasp the design concept. Analyze Zaha Hadid's design concept for the Guangzhou Opera House. Second, identify the methods of curve composition in architectural designs. Third, summarize how the curves in the works are expressive. Fourth, present the findings in the form of a PowerPoint presentation with text and images. The 2 spectacular images we see here are of Zaha Hadid's Guangzhou Opera House. You need to delve deeper by studying more online resources to present more details and further analyze the basic forms of curves design in the architecture. Okay, that's all for today's content. See you next time.